Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Benanin, and for today's video, I'm very excited. We are doing a skincare video. Today, I'll be specifically talking about my skin updates and this very special ingredient that I've added in. I've been using this Tazarotene cream in 0.1%, and I've been on it for a full 2 months now. We're moving on to month 3. I had terrible skin in high school. Completely awful skin in college. I have tried everything from benzoyl peroxide to salicylic acid, different creams, different lotions, all of that. I went on birth control for a while, hoping that it would have some good effects on my skin as well. That didn't really work out. And then I found my holy grail product, and that was Tretenoin. I was on Tretenoin for 2 full years. The first year and a half, it did wonders for my skin. I had the least amount of breakouts I've ever had in my entire life. I looked extremely glowy. My face was shining. I looked good, okay? And I have a full review on the transformation with Tretenoin. Unfortunately though, after about that first year and a half, it's almost like my skin got used to it and I started breaking out again. I went back to having more cystic acne where I was getting pimples that were really deep under the skin that were very painful, and it kind of knocked my confidence a little bit, not gonna lie. And I was going back and forth for a while between if I wanted to try something else or like go through all of that again, because it did take me a while to sort of adjust my face to tolerate Tretenoin and tolerate a retinol. I went back to my dermatologist and I have recently switched to using a different cream. So today we're gonna be talking about Tazarotene. I'm gonna talk about the ingredients in here, show you some pictures of how it's sort of transformed my skin. Before we start, I'm just gonna give my little disclaimer. I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not an esthetician, just a girl who talks to a dermatologist for my prescription. So this video is not intended to give you any sort of medical advice. Definitely seek professional help for that, especially for Tazarotene, because you will need a prescription. It's not something that you can buy over the counter. So Tazarotene is also known as Tazeratin. I think that's the brand name. It's similar to Tretenoin in that it is a retinoid, meaning that it's a vitamin A derivative. The difference is Tazarotene is typically a lot stronger than Tretenoin. So if you go into the dermatologist and you haven't ever been any sort of retinol, you haven't been on Tretenoin, they'll probably start you a little bit lower. And then if those things don't work for you, then they might recommend jumping into something like Tazarotene. But it is a pretty strong medication, so you just have to be careful. And I think from what my dermatologist said, they're typically not going to recommend this first until you tried some of those other things and maybe found that they weren't working for you. So some of the benefits: it does help to treat acne, it helps to reduce fine lines, wrinkles. Sometimes people have found that it helps with dark spots. I have definitely noticed that on my skin, and it basically works by helping the cells on your skin turn over. So that makes sense, because if you're going to be sort of exfoliating, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but if you're helping with that cell turnover, it's gonna help to sort of remove some of those surface dark spots, get them gone faster. It's gonna help with your cell renewal, which might help with more of like your acne spots and healing those acne spots. For me, since I have tried other things, I actually didn't really have very many issues with transitioning to this. I expected my skin, since I do have sensitive acne-prone skin, I expected it to sort of get more flaky like it did when I initially started Tret, but I didn't have any of that. It was pretty smooth transition over. The only issue I had really as far as irritation was around my mouth area where I lean a little bit more dry. It was feeling a little bit more dry, and when I did have acne spots, this product kind of dried it out as well in the beginning, and the spots looked a little bit more flaky, but it wasn't like the overall peeling that I experienced when I started using Tretenoin a few years ago. So that's about it. Really didn't have any like burning or itching or redness, just that little bit of flakiness on my acne spots and a little bit of dryness around my mouth. That was about it. Obviously your skin is different, so you might react a little bit different to this. So you might want to like build up and start using it once a week and then moving to twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Again, because my skin already tolerated a pretty strong percentage of tretinoin, I jumped into using it every other day from the start. And then I've slowly been working my way to using it every day. I am not fully on it every day yet, mostly because I'm scared to like use it every day and I don't want to get any of those irritations. Every other day I use this all over my face. And then on the off days that I'm not using it all over my face, I only use it if I have an acne spot, and I'll put it on there to spot treat it. I don't know if that's necessarily how you're supposed to be using it, but my dermatologist did say that I can work up to using it every day. So that's my way of sort of getting my skin more acclimated to using it more on a daily basis. The goal for me overall is to use it every day, hopefully, but we're not quite there yet. We're leaning more towards every other day, sometimes every day, sometimes not. This is what my skin looked like after a week or 2 of using Tazarotene. This is what it looks like about 3 weeks or so with using Tazarotene. And then this is what my face looks like now. So let me show you my skin up close and personal. Y'all can really see all of my pores. Goodness. Overall, I'd say the biggest difference I notice is my acne. I have a few small spots kind of around this area, which is where I usually have been breaking out these days. And then I have one spot here where it was a pimple yesterday and it's pretty much gone today. It's more of just like a scab a bit. Yeah, so no big cystic pimples right now. And I haven't had a big cystic pimple probably in about 2 weeks now. Before that I was getting a few and they were mostly around my cycle time, but right now there's really nothing on my face, which is pretty good. If we are talking about fine lines, I'm obviously young. I'm 27. I don't have wrinkles yet. And so I can't really speak to that, but just the overall health of my skin, as you can see, my face looks pretty moisturized. My skin looks not dry and crackly, and it feels pretty healthy right now, which is also great. My dark spots, which are my other area of concern, since I've had acne for a while, I have areas like here and here where I've just gotten dark spots that are they're kind of permanent. I tried using hydroquinone in the past to help with that, and it didn't really help that much, so I stopped. So those spots are definitely still there where I've just had years of acne in the same area, so we've just got some dark marks around there. But with my new acne spots, I really haven't been getting any dark spots. I may get 1 or 2, you see like here, and also around here. The spots look a little bit darker, but they're not like really bad. I think using the Tazarotene along with wearing sunscreen, my dark spots have definitely gotten better. They're obviously not 100% gone. My skin is not perfect. It probably will never be perfect, but for the way that it looks right now, I am pretty satisfied and very happy with how it looks. So yeah, and then the other biggest difference is in my forehead. I noticed with my Tretenoin, it actually did a better job of sort of getting rid of some of the texture on my forehead. Can you see? Actually, I do have wrinkles. You guys see that? See the lines? Because I always raise my brows like this, and I always do this. I'm very expressive with my face. So I have some wrinkles there, but it's not really a big deal. But what was I saying? I lost track. Oh yeah. So here on my forehead, the biggest difference I saw with my Tretenoin when I first started using it was the texture on my forehead definitely got smoother. I do think that the Tazarotene has helped with that, but I will say that my forehead it still has some texture, whereas with the Tretenoin, it really didn't that much. You know what? You can see I have a couple spots here and there, so I don't know. But overall, I'm having less acne, less cystic big, deep acne spots. I can deal with like the spots in my cheeks that are more hormonal. I can handle those, but the deep spots, that was what was really bugging me, and this has really helped with that. And then my dark spots, when I do get an acne spot, it does become a little bit darker, but it doesn't stay forever. Hi guys, I was editing this video and I realized that I forgot a very important piece of this. This medication is super, super expensive, and my insurance like refused to cover it, and they refused to cover like other variations of it that my doctor tried to provide to them. So keep that in mind, your insurance might not cover it, or they might. I guess it could just be a me problem. But when I called the pharmacy and I was like, listen, my insurance won't cover it. Can I pay out of pocket? How much is it? These people told me that it was like $400 to get one little tube. Keep in mind, the tube does last a long time. I've been using it for 2 months and I haven't even made a dent in it really. But still, $400, that's a lot of money to try to treat some acne. That's ridiculous. So I went on GoodRx and they have a coupon. If you get your prescription at Target or CVS, I think Walmart, Costco, Hy-Vee, Kroger, Thrifty White, whatever that is, they will give you a little coupon and it makes it like 70 to 80% off. So I ended up getting mine for $96, and I see the GoodRx coupon is still on there. So I would definitely recommend checking that out if you're in the States. $96 to $100 is still expensive in my opinion for a cream. That's kind of ridiculous, but it's better than $400 and it has been working for me. Check out GoodRx. This video is not sponsored. I wish they would sponsor me because I use them every time I go to the pharmacy, but this is not sponsored. Just if you ever have a prescription and your insurance doesn't cover it, I would 100% look on there because there's likely a coupon to help with some of the costs. All right, back to the video. So far so good with Tazarotene. I will keep using it. I have definitely seen a difference in my skin, and hopefully it will maintain this way, if not get better. I am hoping that I won't get to a point where I sort of plateau like I did with the Tretenoin when it comes to my acne, or like it works for a while and then my acne jumps in and starts again. Hopefully this is it and I can stick to it. So that's it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That really helps my channel. Other than that, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye.